do? What it do?
His certificate to be a cop because, well, he killed someone and they should be alive. Put it up full mass. Let me give you the background to this story. So basically, the cop killed an innocent man with a taser and a gun, and he has the extreme penalties of having his occupational certification revoked. Josh Payne, a former cop, fatally shot a man who mistook for a domestic violence suspect, agreed to a plea deal where he will serve probation for the killing and pay restitution to the victim's family. Payne, a former cop for the city of Titusville, faced felony manslaughter for the shooting death of 40-year-old James Lowry. This took place in December of 2021. Payne tried to arrest Mr. Lowry that evening as he was looking for a suspect police described as a black man with locks, wearing blue jeans and a black jacket. Body cam footage showed Payne patrolling in his vehicle when he encountered Mr. Lowry, dressed in a black jacket and blue jeans. Officer Payne pulled over, exited his car, and tried to confront Mr. Lowry, but Mr. Lowry ran, triggering a foot chase where Payne deployed his taser 5 times, according to the official report. Lowry kept running, but once Officer Payne caught up to him at a fence, Mr. Lowry turned toward him, and the pair briefly struggled before Lowry turned away and tried to jump the fence. At that point, Officer Payne drew his gun while still firing his taser and shot the innocent Mr. Lowry in the back of his head. He was pronounced dead at the scene. Body cam video also shows the innocent man withdraw items during the chase that police later identified as drugs from his jacket pocket and discard them after Payne ordered him to drop them. After the footage was released, the city police chief, John Lau, said the Lowry aggressively resisted arrest because of the amount of drugs on his person. Let's take that quote for just a moment before I continue. He aggressively resisted arrest. Now keep in mind, he's innocent. He has done no crime worthy of killing. There is no one who is in imminent danger. It was mistaken identity, right? One black male looks like another. So he runs away. He's afraid. He has drugs on his person. There's a whole lot of folk in America right now that got drugs on their persons. They are not to be killed according to the protocol. But instead of being cheap, understanding the nuance and sensitivity, he decides to basically defend the cop by saying he was aggressively resisting. Right, he was. Being shot in the back of the head is an offense, meaning the only criminal here worthy of felony prosecution is the cop. So that's what happened. Quote, when Lowry reached into pockets, it clearly raised the officer's threat concerns. This is what the chief is saying, which caused him to draw his firearm, the chief stated. However, despite what prompted Payne to pull his firearm, Lau said that he was not justified in his use of deadly force. The chief clarified that the training officers undergo teaches them to never utilize 2 weapons at the same time, and that Payne violated firearm safety rules. Quote, although Officer Payne's decision to draw his firearm based on Mr. Lowry's actions was sound, our training specifically addresses transitioning from one tool to another. Lau said, quote, "At no time do we train our officers to operate both taser and firearm at the same time." So Lau said Payne could have employed other options to stop Mr. Lowry, like pepper spray or taking a, quote, tactical pause to wait for backup. Lowry's death was ruled a homicide by medical examiner after Payne was charged with manslaughter in June of 2022. He resigned from his post with
my bad. My
the
bad.
Titusville Police Department. At a plea hearing held on December 6th, a judge sentenced Payne to 5 years probation, but withheld adjudication. An outcome Payne's defense attorney saw. Quote, "The court will sentence on this case 5 years in probation. Mr. Payne shall not possess, own, or use a firearm during the term of this probation. The judge is Kurt Jacobus," said later, adding that he believes Payne's training is to blame for Lowry's death. Back up. The judge gives him less than a slap on the wrist. And then it says, "Poor police officer," right? If this would have been truly an action that permeated from bad training, typically a cop is able to utilize that as a holistic defense. They were trained to do A, B, and C, which means you get no penalty. You're trained to do that. It's unfortunate somebody died, but that's not what happened here. And the chief clearly said they don't train them to do this. As a matter of fact, they train them to never pull both weapons at the same time. You have to understand the John Wayne Wild Wild West mentality going through the mind of a cop while he's chasing someone he has yet to identify. In Florida, withholding adjudication is a court decision in which a person is found guilty of a crime but is not formally convicted. Leave it to Florida to play this game. As part of the plea agreement, Officer Payne was ordered to pay $18,000 in funeral expenses to the family and turn over his law enforcement certificate, which means he can never work as a cop again. Before his sentencing, Officer Payne apologized to the family, who were hoping for a felony conviction. Quote, "It's affected me, and I'm deeply apologetic. Sorry that this happened this way," he said. Lowry's sister, Johari Brown, also read a statement in court on behalf of the family. Quote, "To be there, hearing that we're just going to have probation and maybe not an adjudication of guilt, it doesn't really sit right with myself or my family," Brown said. James Garland Lowry was the following: a brother, a son, a father, an uncle, a cousin, a nephew, a friend, and so much more. Lowry's family recently shared their plan to pursue civil action. Quote, "Clearly a plea like this, with no adjudication of guilt, for an officer who shot a wrongly identified man in the back of the head, brings no peace to the family," Civil rights attorney and dear friend Ben Crump stated. "We will vigorously pursue justice in civil court and seek significant improvements in training which contributed to this tragedy," as the judge acknowledged. Here's what I think happened. I think the cop was accustomed to pulling taser and gun at the same time. Whatever sick fantasy he plays out in his mind while he's chasing individuals that are innocent unless proven guilty. The chief can cite what's in the protocol, what's on paper. What do the trainers say is proper? But once again, you have policy and you have culture. I think it wasn't the culture of policing for them to act this reckless. And if it is in fact reckless, which the judge agreed and so did most, that means at least the man gets convicted of a manslaughter charge, at least at the minimum, at the maximum murder. But he gets neither. Sharon, I got to tell you, leaving to Florida, to come up with a rule that sent my head spinning, and I got a law degree. So the way it works is basically you can be found guilty de facto without having the guilty mark on your record, because the judge said, while you do have this penalty, there will be no adjudication, which is something that the defense will typically ask for when a cop commits a crime like this. What's in you?
Man, that is crazy, man. Just think about that, man. Is that privilege? It sounds like privilege to me. Like, just think about that. Like, man, crazy, man. Mistaken identity. Okay, he had a little bit of weed. I don't know what he had on him, but man, you shoot the man in the back of the head. The tasing 5 times. The man is he know you ain't looking for him, but he like, man, it's just crazy. Like, I ain't saying that he supposed to be selling drugs, but he don't supposed to get killed. I mean, excuse me for using that word, but just come on, man. But the crazy part is, I feel like society come numb to that. Like, sirens and gunshots, they don't make, I don't jump when I hear stuff like that, because I done heard it all my life, and it's crazy. You can say, like, no, it's just the norm. When you grew up in the hood, the norm, your gunshots, okay, we would just make sure they ain't coming my way. Okay, I'm going about my day. I ain't got nothing to report, I don't know nothing, I ain't seen nothing, you know what I'm saying? That's just crazy, but society now, like, I think it's thrive more violence than it's violence way more notarized. Hip hop used to be hip hop. It's like, but now they just this world is crazy. I'm looking at this, like this crazy. The man he ain't even get the plea. Like, this in the law. I need to know this law because we need to bring this law up when it's time for y'all to go to court. Because I don't plan on going to jail. Like, if y'all still out there committing in the streets, you should be looking at this like this police is. Oh, okay. He guilty, but he ain't guilty. Oh, what? Hold on, he guilty, but he ain't guilty. He definitely guilty. The man ain't died on his own. So that's crazy. I hope that family, God bless that family. I hope that family get much more. I know money ain't gonna make it right, but I hope they get what they need. Just to, get out that town. I get out that town, that city, man. That's crazy. Like, looking at that, I was like, man, that's crazy. You just running. Because I done got tased a couple times back in my day. We're going to say that for another day. You know what I'm saying? Make sure you like, subscribe, and share, and comment. Make sure you like, comment. I got a poll up. Do you think this is justice? Dude, I don't even think I don't know if he got probation. Okay. He got his job taken, basically. But after 5 years, he probably can go get his job back, but that's crazy, man. God bless that family and that young man. Ben Crump, keep fighting for us. Shout out to that.